When a waitress gives a free meal to a veteran, she loses her job. But the very next day, a knock at her door brings an unexpected surprise that could change everything. Let's uncover this inspiring story of resilience and hope. Samantha had always loved working as a waitress. For 5 years, she served tables at Benny's Diner, a cozy little place that was a staple in their small town. Every day was a mix of familiar faces and new customers. But it wasn't just about taking orders or delivering food for her. She genuinely loved connecting with people. She knew most of the regulars by name, remembered their usual orders, and had learned bits and pieces of their life stories over the years. One afternoon, during a particularly quiet shift, she noticed a man sitting alone in a corner booth. He was older, his gray hair neatly tucked under a worn military cap that looked like it had seen its fair share of history. His clothes were clean but tattered around the edges, and there was a certain air about him that suggested life hadn't been kind in recent years. He sat with the menu in his hands, staring at it far longer than usual, as if weighing his options carefully. When Samantha approached him, she greeted him with her usual warm smile. "Hi there. Welcome to Benny's." "My name's Samantha. Can I get you something to eat today?" The man looked up at her, his eyes filled with both gratitude and hesitation. "Just coffee," he said quietly. His voice was rough, and his hands trembled as he handed her the menu back without even glancing at it. Samantha felt a pang in her chest. She had seen enough in her years at the diner to know when someone was struggling. This man wasn't here for the food. He was here for a moment of warmth, maybe even a little dignity. "Of course. Coffee coming right up," she said, trying to keep her voice light. As she filled the coffee pot, her mind raced. She couldn't ignore the look on his face, the way he had seemed almost ashamed to order just coffee. She decided she wouldn't let him leave hungry. After all, if anyone deserved a good meal, it was someone who had served his country. She returned with the coffee and a smile. "Here you go. We're actually running a special today. How about I bring you our daily plate on the house? You look like someone who appreciates a good home-cooked meal." The man blinked, clearly surprised. I couldn't. That's too much." Samantha gave a soft, reassuring smile. "It's no trouble at all. Consider it a thank you for your service. Please let me take care of it." His eyes softened, and for the first time since she'd approached the table, he smiled. "Thank you. Thank you so much." As she turned to head back to the kitchen, Samantha felt a warmth in her chest. She placed the order, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and a side of green beans, the diner's special of the day, and waited by the counter as it was prepared. She couldn't help but glance back at the man, now sipping his coffee slowly, his posture a little more relaxed. But her sense of fulfillment was short-lived. Rick, the diner's manager and co-owner, approached her with a scowl. "What are you doing?" he hissed. "What do you mean?" Samantha replied, taken aback. "I saw you. You comped his meal. You know we don't give out freebies here. That's money out of our pocket." Samantha blinked, stunned by his reaction. "Rick, he's a veteran. He didn't have enough to order more than coffee. I thought—" "You thought wrong," Rick interrupted, his voice cold and harsh. "This is a business, Samantha, not a charity. You want to give away food? Do it on your own time. As long as you're here, you follow the rules." Her heart sank. "But it's just one meal." "Doesn't matter," he snapped. "You're fired. Pack up your things." Fired. The word hit her like a punch to the gut. She felt tears prick at her eyes but refused to let them fall. She glanced back at the veteran who was now staring out the window, completely unaware of the storm that had just erupted in the back of the diner. Samantha knew she couldn't cause a scene. She quietly nodded and went to the back to gather her things. As she left, she passed by the man's table. His meal had arrived, and he looked up at her with a grateful smile. "This is wonderful. Thank you again, miss." Samantha forced a smile. "I'm glad you're enjoying it," she said softly. "Take care of yourself, okay?" Walking out of the diner felt surreal. She had never been fired from a job before, especially not for doing something she believed was right. Her hands trembled as she unlocked her car, and the tears she had been holding back finally spilled over. She wasn't sure what hurt more, the fact that she had lost her job, or the fact that her act of kindness had been met with such cruelty. The next day, Samantha was still reeling from what had happened when she got an unexpected phone call. It was from a reporter at the local newspaper. "Hi, Samantha. I'm reaching out because we've heard a story about you helping a veteran at Benny's Diner and being fired for it. We'd love to hear your side of things." Samantha was shocked. "How did you find out about that?" "The veteran Tom told one of our columnists. He was deeply moved by what you did, and he wanted people to know." Samantha hesitated, unsure whether she wanted her story out in the open, but the reporter's genuine interest in hearing her perspective changed her mind. She recounted what had happened, her voice breaking at times as she relived the moment. The article was published a few days later, and it quickly went viral. "Waitress fired for feeding veteran. Acts of kindness in hard times," read the headline. People in the community were outraged by the way she had been treated. Social media exploded with posts of support, and local veterans organizations reached out, offering to help in any way they could. Messages flooded Samantha's inbox, many from strangers thanking her for her compassion and sharing their own stories of hardship. What Samantha didn't expect, though, was how far the story would reach. Within a week, donations started pouring in. People from all over the country wanted to support her, sending funds with notes that read, "For your next good deed," or "Keep helping others." Veterans and their families sent heartfelt messages, some offering to volunteer their time if she ever wanted to start something new. And then came the most surprising call of all, one from the mayor's office. "We've heard about what you've been doing, Samantha," the mayor said over the phone. "I'd like to meet with you. Your kindness is an example of what our town stands for, and I think we can work together on something special." Samantha was stunned. "Of course, I'd be honored," she replied, her heart racing. A few days later, the mayor visited her at the community center, where Samantha had been volunteering since losing her job. He shook her hand firmly and said, "Your actions have inspired not only me, but the entire town. We'd like to support you in starting your own business, a place where veterans are always welcome." With the mayor's endorsement and the flood of donations, Samantha realized she could turn her dream into reality. She partnered with local veterans organizations and within months opened her own cafe, the Veterans Table. It was a small, cozy spot with warm lighting and American flags proudly displayed. Every veteran who walked through the doors was treated like family. Opening day was emotional. The cafe was packed with veterans, their families, and community members who had followed Samantha's journey. The mayor attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony, delivering a heartfelt speech about the importance of compassion and community. He called Samantha a hometown hero, a title she was still getting used to. The cafe quickly became more than just a place to eat. It became a safe space for veterans to connect, share stories, and heal. Samantha greeted each one with the same warmth she had shown Tom on that first day, and she never forgot why she had started this journey. Her life had changed in ways she never imagined. What began as an act of kindness toward one man had blossomed into a community-wide movement of support and appreciation for veterans. And every time a veteran thanked her, Samantha would smile and say, "It's the least I can do for those who've given so much." She no longer served tables, but she was serving something far greater: hope, respect, and a sense of belonging for the people who needed it most. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe for more uplifting tales that celebrate kindness and resilience. Your support helps us share these powerful messages with the world.